everyone, I'm Inderjeet, back with the final video on idioms, and today I'm going to cover on parts of the face, plants and flowers and water, and I'm sure you all are going to enjoy these as well. The face is the index of mind. Out of 5 sense organs, 4 are on our face. So yes, let's add some face value to our language now. All ears means you are eager to listen, you are completely listening to the other person. Yes, and this idiom is like 3 centuries old. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. This means that different people judge a particular thing in a different way. So everybody has their own opinion. Yes, something which is considered to be very beautiful, very pretty by someone can be downright ugly by the other. So every person has their own opinion. Okay. Cut off your nose to spite your face. Now this means that out of anger you tend to hurt yourself. Yes, and that anger is because of somebody else. So imagine if you don't like your face, yeah, do you tend to cut off your nose? No, yeah, it would hurt. Ouch, it's going to hurt you. Yes, so over here the face is considered to be the other people and the nose is considered to be you. So you don't have to hurt yourself because of others. A very deep meaning phrase this is, and this started way back in the 13th century. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Now this is something really very revengeful. So if someone has done something bad to you, and you want to take revenge, so you will take it exactly the same way the other person has done to you. Okay, so this is a very old saying, and it was a practice in the olden days, and it was a very severe punishment that you had a very severe kind of revenge. So the next one in line is keep your ear to the ground. Means to be well informed, to be very well informed. Yes, so way back say 19th century, the Americans were fighting Red Indians or vice versa for land. So whenever they had to check that are they fast approaching towards them, the soldiers used to, the Red Indians or the Americans used to hold their ear to the land. Why? So they could hear the horses galloping, and they knew that how close are they coming. Little pitchers have big ears. Have you ever seen a pitcher plant? Yes, it has 2 handle-like structures which look like ears. So over here, little pitchers are referred to little children. Yes, kids. So we as adults, as parents, we all need to be mindful enough to know what all has to be spoken in front of kids. Yes, so because they tend to hear everything, and they might overthink and develop something maybe very weird. So the next one is really cheeky. So it's like turn up your nose on someone. So this means that whenever we are trying to show off that we are superior or I am superior than the other, yes, so we use it in this way. In olden times, the kings and queens used to have their head held up high with nose up. They were chinned up just to show off that they are superior than the others. Wet behind the ears. Someone who is very inexperienced or new, an amateur. Okay, so have you ever seen a calf or a colt being born? So it is born with a sticky fluid all over its body, which gets dried up quite soon. But yes, the area behind the ears take a longer time to dry. Yes. So this is this is associated with someone who is very new by the Americans during the 20th century, especially when they used to talk about the newly recruited soldiers. Without batting an eyelid. This means you are trying to fight a situation fiercely. Okay, so you're just not trying to show that you are very scared about something, or you are surprised or shocked, or any kind of feeling is not expressed. Let's talk about idioms on plants and flowers. Our life is surrounded by flora everywhere. So let's have them in our language too. Buck up the wrong tree. Now this means to have a wrong idea about something or someone. In olden days, when people used to go for hunting, they had their dogs in front, and the dogs were the ones who used to spot an animal, and if that animal ran up a tree, they used to stand under that tree and bark. But there were times also when the dogs themselves were confused and they stood up in front of the wrong tree and bark. So that's why the idiom goes to bark up the wrong tree. To beat around the bush or beating around the bush. This means that we are actually avoiding to answer a particular question or to avoid a situation. Yes. So in olden days, again, there were people who used to hunt, and these hunters had their own horses, dogs and drummers who used to drum, and the animals used to come out and the hunters then hunted. So but if they drummed very hard, the animals used to run away and escape. So it's whenever a person is just drumming without any rhyme or reason, and so that's why we say that they are trying to avoid something, so that is beating around the bush. A bed of roses, something which is very, very comfortable and nice. So whenever we are doing a particular task which is as comfortable and as soft as a bed of roses, so then we use this idiom. Can't see the forest for the trees. This means that we try to overlook a bigger picture for smaller things. So whenever we go to a forest, it is quite dense, and we just see trees and greenery everywhere. But when we try to focus, we see that the trees are also of different types, their leaves, their branches, or maybe roots as well. Okay, so and their fruits. Okay, try to get a clearer picture. Yes, so this idiom is related to this particular situation. Gild the lily. This means to spoil something which is already so good, which is already very pretty. What does gilding means? Gilding means covering something with a layer of gold. So imagine lily, it's such a beautiful flower which is one of the prettiest God's gift to mankind. Yes, so imagine if we are putting a layer of gold on it. Do you think it is actually required? The lilies look so pretty in pink and white, so we don't need to beautify it anymore. Go climb a tree. We use this for people or for kids when we actually feel that they are annoying you and you want to get rid of them for a particular span of time or maybe forever. Okay, so whenever someone is bothering you and you just don't want to be around that person or that person to be around you, so you just say, just go climb a tree. Now this is through the grapevine. Have you ever seen a vineyard? You've been to a vineyard? You must have seen that the grapevines, these are long creepers and very complex. You just won't come to know that from where have they started and where are they ending. Okay, that same creeper. So it's quite complicated. So means through the grapevine means many people have gossiped about it. So you've come to know about something. So through the grapevine. turn over a new leaf. This means to have a fresh start. You have learned from your past mistakes and you want to start afresh. Yes, so like the trees shed their old leaves, they all turn pale, then the tree has new leaves, yes, in spring. So that is what is turning to a new leaf is about. So now we are going to have idioms on water, the last one. So we all know that 70% of our surface of earth is covered with water, and we use this water once it rains down for cooking, washing, drinking, cleaning. And imagine if there's no water, then how would have we irrigated our language? And I'm sure it would have become like an arid land. So let's add some water to our language. Blood is thicker than water. This means that we would always like to do something special or take us an extra step ahead for our own family member rather than strangers. So the ones who must have invented this phrase, they said this why? Because the blood is thick and it leaves behind a stain, whereas water evaporates quickly without any stains. Fish out of water. Now this is used for people who just don't fit in that particular group, okay, or they are not a part of that group by any way. So imagine a fish that is being taken out of water. So can it actually survive? No. Yes, it is going to die for sure. So such people are also attributed with the fish. In hot water means you are in a serious trouble. Imagine if hot water spills over you, or you are just put into a pan of hot boiling water. So obviously you are going to be in trouble. So it has a very simple explanation. The other one in line is pour oil over troubled water. This means to calm a particular situation or a particular person. Yes, way back in the 18th century, people actually believed the water of a stormy sea could be actually calmed and cooled and relaxed by pouring oil over it. So this has come up from calming a sea. Still waters run deep. This means that you cannot judge a person or anything by its very appearance. Yes, when a person is caught in a heavy flowing river, so a person doesn't tend to drown. Why? Because then he can actually catch hold of something and save himself. But if the water is still, we actually don't know how deep it is. So that's why it is associated with the very first appearance of anything or anyone. The last idiom for today's video is to throw cold water over something. Now this means to kill somebody's excitement and enthusiasm. So whenever there is a heavy fire and there's so much of heat around, so if we throw cold water it, everything gets cooled down. Yes, so in a similar way, we tend to cool down somebody else's excitement or enthusiasm by saying throwing cold water over something. So that is all for the complete video on idioms. I'm sure you must have found these very interesting and informative. Do keep waiting for my next video. Till then, goodbye.